In chapter 3177, Duncan's walk to the company cafeteria becomes more than just a routine. It becomes a quiet reflection on love, loyalty, and his dreams for the future. As his secretary pushed his wheelchair along, a casual remark about Ainsley's sudden change of style turned into a deeper conversation about relationships. The secretary, a family man himself, teased lightly about women dressing up to catch attention. Duncan listened with amusement, but also used the moment to share his own views on love. For him, it was never about lavish gifts or superficial attraction. He believed that true love meant patience, tolerance, and above all, companionship. This was precisely how his feelings for liberty had grown. At the beginning, his connection to her was almost incidental. She was Serenity's sister, and he had given her a job out of goodwill. At that time, he had little affection for her personally, and in fact, even found her appearance unremarkable. He had even asked her to work out and lose weight, treating it more like a favor than a budding relationship. Yet, as time went on, something unexpected happened. Through shared days, small conversations, and the quiet trust that developed between them, Duncan found himself slowly drawn to Liberty. What made her special was not wealth or beauty, but her sincerity. She had no interest in material things and rarely accepted any of the luxurious gifts he tried to give her. At most, she would take the simple bouquets he offered, always with quiet modesty. To Duncan, that humility revealed her true worth. It dawned on him gradually. He had fallen in love with Liberty, not because of her appearance, and not because of her connection to Serenity, but because of who she was. Their bond grew out of shared sincerity, not out of money or attraction. In his heart, he came to believe that companionship was the truest expression of love, being there when Liberty needed him, supporting her through struggles, and rushing to her side in moments of hardship. These, he felt, meant more than any gift of jewelry or luxury could ever show. As he reflected on his relationship, his thoughts wandered to the future. He imagined what it would be like to marry Liberty, and he knew he would settle for nothing less than a grand celebration worthy of her. He thought back to her modest wedding with Hank, a ceremony that had been simple, almost ordinary, and vowed that when it came time for their own wedding, she would never suffer such indignity again. In his vision, their marriage would be celebrated with great fanfare, just as his friends Zachary and Serenity had once done. Duncan would host a company wide celebration. Red envelopes would be distributed, and the canteens of Lewis and Company would be transformed into banqueting halls, feeding employees for days. It would not only be a moment of joy for himself and Liberty, but also a chance to prove, especially to the Brown family, that their happiness was unshakable. By the time Duncan and his secretary arrived at the cafeteria, his heart was full. What began as idle chatter had turned into a reaffirmation of his devotion. For him, love was not about extravagance, it was about the promise of lasting companionship.